everybody, it's 3 p.m. It's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby, and today we are making lettuce wraps with ground turkey. So let's give it a minute and wait for everybody to come join us. They'll all find their way. I wanted to talk to you just a little bit. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm dying to show you something that occurred, and I ran out of time to bring it forward, or I basically must have forgotten. But let me just take 1 minute and go grab this. I want to talk to you about the seeds that we planted, the zucchini seeds. Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for your comment. That's very sweet of you. I'm talking about growing, and we planted seeds back in February, and I just wanted to show you. Hi, Jahiza. Diane Sagario, nice to see you. So hold on 1 minute. Let me just show you something. Okay, I'm back. So, hey, Doug Eischer, where have you been? I have missed you. Good to see you back again. So, if you can look right here, these are the zucchini plants that we planted in February. This is the arugula seeds that came up. And if you look really closely, I'm going to bring this in. I am already getting zucchini blossoms that are jumping into, hey, Sherry Barasa, look at this, these fabulous zucchini blossoms that have already started coming up. They were huge. Here's some more blossoming over here. And you know, these are a delicacy. Let me tip that so you can see these little buds here. This is the only two that are really visible today. But we have had tons of these popping up, and you know that zucchini blossoms are actually a delicacy, and there's tons of recipes where you take the blossoms off the zucchinis and you put a little bit of light flour, seasoned flour on them, and then you deep fry them. And anyway, so I just wanted to show you, these are going to be going into the ground in a couple of, really probably over the weekend. I take them outside every day to sit in the warm sun so that they get tempered, they get used to not going from the indoor grow light experience, but outside where it's breezy and there's sunlight and they can feel at home. I put them out just for a couple of hours. And then by the weekend, they should be ready to go in the ground. And maybe I will videotape that. So let's see. Doug was moving his mother to Lake Havasu, or from Lake Havasu. So that's where Doug has been. We all missed you. We were talking about the men the other day in our writer interview, and I called out your name, Doug. Roseanne, yes, those blossoms are amazing. I bet you have a great recipe. And Roseanne, I just have to tell you, I'm sending you a card that I saw the other day. I can't wait to get it in the mail to you, so keep your eye out for that. And let's see, anybody else? Got any good comments? Give me a 1 if you watched the Oprah interview last night. That was big, right? I've been watching this Netflix video called Netflix versus the World. It's not on Netflix, it's on Prime Video, ironically. And that has been great entertainment. And of course, I was at the Avocado Ranch last week, so Sherry watched it. There's one. Who else watched that interview? That was very interesting. And I fell asleep in that too. Roseanne, I knew Roseanne would be watching it. And Robin watched it. That's awesome. And give me, let's see, who else? Arlene. Yep, Arlene's here. Arlene, did you watch that interview, Oprah interview last night? All right. Tell us what you think. So let's see, how can we do this? Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. How about that? Yes, the Netflix documentary is amazing, but believe it or not, I have fallen asleep 5 times in it, even though I love it. But by the time I crawl into bed, it gets going. So let's talk about, now that all of you have found me and have joined in, I just want to tell you what we're making today. We are making ground turkey lettuce wraps, and I'm going to take you from vegetables in. I want to show you just some tricks to cutting and dicing an onion, because onions are already diced, believe it or not. It's just how you cut them. I'm not seeing thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's see. It was so insightful and sad for Megan and Harry. Sound off. Arlene said she's here, but she has the sound off. She can't hear me. It's on your end, because I think everybody else can hear me, Arlene. And let's see. What else? Back to the turkey lettuce wraps. Okay, so I've got lots of vegetables that I'm putting in, And we're gonna start with our harder vegetables. So in this case, this is the carrots. So I'm going to throw some carrots in to start softening. And we're gonna put a little bit of salt on the carrots, which will sweat them. Love that, you know I love that word. I never understood what that meant before. Where did I put the salt? Right here. And we're gonna be putting the onions in just a little bit. I think I'm gonna throw the celery in as well, because those are a little bit harder. So into the pot goes the celery. So I have to tell you, if you were here watching the shakshuka on Friday that I made for Channel 8, I had to make that 3 times in 3 different stages. And so I had enough shakshuka. I froze one. I need a spatula, hold on. I froze one, I gave one to Belay, and then the other one we ate for dinner. So Channel 8 Day, because it's 5 minutes of live TV, we have to make sure that everything, you know, I can show all the stages of it and then show it coming out of the oven. So that's always a challenge. When I first started the TV segments, I had no idea how to do live cooking, and it just occurred to me that I just had to do all the stages, and sometimes these recipes require them be made like 4 different times. So I am making this in a really big pot, and I'm making it in this big of a pot so that it's easy for all of you to see how to make it. So I'm also going to cut up a bell pepper right now. And I just want to show you, because I think that cutting bell peppers is very cool. That I've always wondered, like, do you cut out the core, or do you, cut it in half, or exactly how do you cut a red pepper? And this is the way that I found it. Cynthia Berman is here. Happy Monday. Hey, Cynthia, did you find my apron? My husband, every day I wake up, did you find my apron? So for those of you that don't know, sometime when I was in Laguna and Temecula, at some point I lost my favorite spread love like butter black Nanny Bubby apron, and I have been going crazy trying to find it. And so as a result, did you see how easy that was to cut this off? Now you've got these great spears. All you've got is just the core like that, and you can just throw that right into the garbage can. So this apron right here was the original apron that my dear friend Sherry Quillen gave me, and this said Chef Nanny Bubby on it, and it was what really turned me on. Oh, I wonder if it did. Maybe it flew out of the convertible. That is the best idea yet, Cynthia. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to be on my way to Williams-Sonoma to go ahead and buy 2 more, because everybody was wondering, hey, Sue Plattner, everybody was wondering why I didn't have 2, but it was because where I went to get the first one, I ended up getting COVID from there. So let's see, what did Roseanne say? Roseanne said that last Monday dinner shakshuka recipe with Al Roker, said that it was his favorite breakfast. Isn't that amazing? I know. It's really caught on. It seems to be not so much an Israeli thing, but it's made it into mainstream. So as I said, this is my original apron that every time when I'm cooking for family and for a party like I did on Saturday for my nephew's birthday, this just brings me into the present moment. It just inspires me. I feel like I'm wrapped in love, and it helps me put love into my cooking. So I've been wearing this until I can replace my other branded apron. So anyway, I think it did fly out of the convertible. Let's go with that. Let's go with that, unless it shows up. I'm dying to see where it eventually shows up, but I'm off to buy another one. So now we're just dicing up these bell peppers right now. Can you see that? All good. Gary Thompson, how are you? It's good to have some men here. We love our men. We love men that love to cook and love food. So happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So into the pot with the bell peppers. And I'm going to show you in just a minute how to dice an onion. Now normally I start with the onions, but I'm actually started with carrots and celery and the peppers, because those actually take a lot longer to cook than do the onions. So there's that. So here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this way of cutting an onion. I'm just going to repeat what I had said, is that onions are actually already diced. They're already diced, meaning that it just depends how you cut them, that you don't have to go chop, 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 chop in order to dice an onion. So I'm going to take just a minute to get these peppers into the pot, and then I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how to dice onions. And it's such a funny thing because before I started cooking, I used to hate to dice onions. And what I figured is that if you put them into a food processor and just post it, you could actually dice them very easily. And I used to always do that. And I used to do the same with garlic. But the truth is that I actually like doing it. I like doing it because I feel fulfilled when I do it. Second of all, learning all these tricks of the trade, it relaxes me and it brings me into the present moment. Because let me tell you, the way I'm going to show you how to dice this onion, if you're not careful, you're going to dice a finger. So you have to be very present. So I may not look up at you when I'm dicing that onion, but I promise you, once you learn this technique, you will never go back. So I started in this pot with about 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's the way I start just about everything. The butter for flavor and for browning, and the olive oil also for flavor, but I like the combination of all the flavors. And yes, probably hanging in an avocado tree. Probably, I think when we got lost and we pulled into that lady's backyard by accident, it might have ended up there. So, I don't know, who knows. One of these days it's going to show up and we'll all have a good laugh. Okay, so, whoop, almost lost the onion. So what we're going to do is we are going to dice down, or we're not going to dice, we're going to slice down the middle of this onion so we have a flat surface to work with. And that's really important. And what we're going to do is we're going to slice and slice. You see that? And then we're going to slice down this way just a couple of times. And then all we have to do is turn it around. Get rid of the skin. Is turn it around. Let me get this camera here so that you can see. And all we have to do is now just slice across, and we literally have already diced onions. Isn't that cool? Do you see that? So I'm going to show you that technique again. And we're going to just turn this like this because this is the part that didn't get cut. Whoop, there's a finger. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one more time and tell me what you think of that. I'm going to throw a little more salt and pepper on this to help sweat these onions once they go in. And so once we get the meat into the bowl, as it's sauteing, I'm going to show you how to actually clean the butter lettuce and how to lay it out. I discovered a really cool technique as I was working with it on Saturday for my nephew's birthday party. So let's try it once again. So you're going to actually I hold the stem right here, and I cut down. But be careful not to cut all the way through because you want it to hold itself together. See that? There we go. All the way through, but leaving the stem intact so that it'll hold itself together. And then here, we're just going to put our hand on and hold it tight and slice across and holding it again. Slice across, and one more time from the bottom, slicing across all the way. And then all we have to do is just slice down. And there you have a diced onion. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I love that. I don't know why, but it makes me very happy when I do this. I get the biggest kick out of it. And when it comes to dicing onions, I'm like, okay, I'm in. It's kind of like when I was at camp. Well, anyway. I used to want to be the one that cleaned the bathrooms because I knew I would do it better than anybody else. And if I had to use the bathroom, I wanted to make sure I cleaned it. So I would always volunteer to clean the bathroom. So there's a little inside item that probably you never needed to know, but there you go. Okay, so here's the onions. Love everybody showing up today. Who have I missed? Stacy Stacy Saidi's here, and Robin Dickinson is here. Love that you guys are showing up. Robin Dickinson, I just said that. Who else? Lindsay. Yep, I love Lindsay. Thank you. That was a good shot, huh, Lindsay? And Teresa Anderson is back. Hey there. And a lot of people tuning in right now. So do me a favor. If you're on your own Facebook page or you're on my page right now, but hit the share button and share this live onto your own page. Here's two things that happen. Number one, there's people truly looking for this information that you are helping by sharing it with them. And number two, you help the algorithms from Nanny Bubby get out there and notify you once I start setting up. So if you like getting notified, the fact that you're sharing it, you end up on Facebook's algorithm as one of my favorites, although everybody has to work very hard to beat Roseanne at that. But it really helps the algorithms in terms of yours and my relationships. So always go right now onto my page and hit that share button and share it live on your page. And then very, very soon, I am told, because I'm learning more and more about these algorithms, right? All I really wanted to do was cook with all of you and share with you the information that I have learned. But I have to learn about algorithms in order to spread the information to as many as we can. So Roseanne said, I've always cut an onion that way, but never cut it in half until last week. Much easier, by the way. I want that, let's see, I want that knife. Is that what you're saying? I can't see, it won't come out. I think, there we go. I want that knife. Yes, so this is global. This is called their vegetable knife. It has a little bit of a indentation across here, which causes an air pocket so that when you're chopping, the food doesn't stick to the knife. You know how sometimes you always have to peel it off the knife. But this is by Global. One of the best things I like about it is that the handle is stainless steel. When you use wood handles on knives, the bacteria, if you're working with meats or chicken or anything of that nature, actually get absorbed into the wooden knife handle. So the best thing is a stainless steel knife and a stainless steel handle. Thank you, Roseanne. Who else is sharing it? Let me know. Let me know if you're sharing it. Really do appreciate it because it helps you and me actually bond, if you will, through Facebook, the way Facebook does it. So that's great. So if you look down here now, look at what we've got. We've got all this fabulous, fabulous, fabulous vegetables, which are so healthy and so filling, and the fiber is so good for you, and it kills your cravings. And, you know, I just love it. And I heard something very interesting today from a food nutritionist on a podcast that I was listening to that said that the Europeans, especially the Italians, end every meal with a cup of bone broth. That the cup of bone broth helps to finish off your stomach and the stomach juices and cuts all of the cravings, like wanting a dessert of some kind. And it was a very interesting take, so I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to heat up some bone broth and serve it as at the end of the meal, not at the beginning. So here is the garlic. I'm putting this in last so it doesn't burn. The mushrooms don't take quite so long, so this will be good. And I know you love this shot because it's absolutely beautiful. And let's see, who else shared? Who else shared? Robin shared. Thank you, Robin. Sherry, can you share for me? How about Doug? Will you share? I would love it if you do. It really helps the process. Okay, so now all of you know what my very favorite, let's see, Teresa Anderson is watching. Teresa, will you share? You're the best at that. Okay, so I am sprinkling on right now my very favorite sweet smoked paprika, which really adds beautiful color to this. And I will just tell you, if you remember when I bought this, look at how empty it is already. I'm running over to Williams-Sonoma as soon as we're off the air to buy 2 new aprons, because my aprons are Williams-Sonoma in black. And while I'm there, I'm hoping to find their sweet smoked paprika. They've been out. And so that's been a problem for Nanny Bubby here. So, okay. There we go. So now the mushrooms will continue to cook, as will the vegetables, but we're going to add our meat now. So here is 2 pounds of ground turkey. I use the ground turkey, not the ground turkey breast, which means that this contains quite a bit of dark meat, which I think makes for a much more moist experience. The white meat is very dry. There we go. And one more into here. Now I'm not going to add any seasonings, maybe just a little bit of red pepper, because what happens is all of the seasoning, and you have to remember that I salted many times the vegetables so that we could sweat them out and help them saute a little bit faster. So I don't think I really need any more salt in this mixture. Sweet paprika, yes, maybe a little bit of pepper or red chili pepper flakes would be a good one, but there you have it. So while this is cooking down, I'm going to lower it just one more time. Let that get the heat through it and get it cooking all the way through. I'm going to talk to you about cooking and cleaning the butter lettuce. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Oh my gosh, we've got a lot of people here today. I'm so happy to see that. That's because all of you are sharing. So already we're seeing a result of what you're doing. Thank you so much. So this is the head of butter lettuce. Put my scraps in here. 1 second. Okay, so you can see there's a live stem, and you see that all the time. What I want you to know, hi Mom, oops, hi Mom, good to have you here, sorry, is that this live stem, which is actually the soil still on this buttered lettuce, is that a lot of bacteria is in here, a lot of parasites, if you will, from the soil. Good parasites, but nonetheless parasites that you don't want to eat, correct? So what I do is I take this and I cut this stem off. I don't even like for it to be on my cutting board. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take this stem and I'm going to just cut it right off like that so that it's off. And then, that's no big deal, but we still have lots of parasites. So Mom, share my page right now live onto your page. I just told everybody to do that, and you're just a little late getting here, so just wanted to tell you to do that. And I'm going to spray this right now with the food grade hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute, and then I'm going to peel these back and just give these a squirt around. Just open them up really nicely, like this. And just get that, especially in the middle, because that's where the little bugs or parasites might come through. So we're going to open it up like this. Can you see that okay? Hi Marjorie, thanks for being here. And let's see, where do you get the spray? So you get the spray, it's the food grade. I know I've shown you this before, but let me show this to you again. The sprayer I got on Amazon, and this is the food grade hydrogen peroxide, also from Amazon. And if you go to nannybubby.com and go to the Game Changer tab, scroll down because I posted this a couple years ago. But this, both the sprayer and the food grade hydrogen peroxide, is on the Game Changer page. And speaking of nannybubby.com, all of you, if you haven't already done it, go to nannybubby.com/spices and download your free 19 essential herbs and spices that every kitchen needs to have in order for you to be able to cook just about any recipe. So 2 things, nannybubby.com, Game Changer tab, or nannybubby.com/spices, and you will get the, and you can take the link right from my page to go to Amazon and buy the food grade hydrogen peroxide, as well as the spray bottle. Spray bottle is a little bit expensive actually for a spray bottle, but I love this spray bottle, and most spray bottles don't last. I've had this spray bottle now for and it's an extra virgin olive oil spray bottle. I should actually get one for the extra virgin olive oil and stop buying the cans, the aerosol cans. But it is not broken, and I've had this for 2 or 3 years. So, okay, let's clean this lettuce now. We're going to take cold water. Here we go. And we're going to spray inside where we've sprayed it. Okay. Now, the coolest thing about this is you're going to use this lettuce. Let's turn it over and get the back side of it. Okay, there we go. All washed out. Hydrogen peroxide is off. Okay, there we go. Now, let me stir this. Let's get this. I want this to not take our eyes off of that for just a minute. I'm going to get some paper towels, and I'm going to show you how to make the most beautiful floret. It's so common sense and so easy. I'm sure that you probably don't need me to tell you, but I discovered this on Saturday when I was doing this for my nephew's birthday party on Saturday, which I still have to post the pictures of what we did there. So come over here with me. Let me turn you. Okay. All right, so this is the butter lettuce upside down. I'm going to use the paper towels to blot it. Definitely going to turn it over. Sometimes it's really hard to get this water out. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to take one little sheet of the paper towel, and I'm going to put it right here on the bottom of this plate. So let me read this question. Marla wants you, oh, thanks Roseanne for answering that. I just saw that. Thank you very much. Okay, so here we go. We've got the butter lettuce turned upside down, okay? And then we're just going to peel off leaf after leaf. So we're going to work our way around and peel it off. I need one more paper towel to blot it as I go, which I'll grab in just a second. Let me get going around the plate. You see that? Look how beautiful this is. Let me bring this camera just a little bit closer so that you can see. We're just peeling off the lettuce leaves and placing that here and placing that there. Okay, so you've got a lovely floret. Let me grab a paper towel and we're going to blot right through this. Just giving it just ever so slightly blot. So butter lettuce is just about the very best lettuce to use for lettuce wraps. I occasionally will use romaine, but butter is just so perfect. And I had in my garden 2 heads of butter lettuce that grew that were fantastic. And I used those one day, and that was so fun. And I'm getting ready to, you should see the collard greens and the Tuscan kale that's out there and the regular kale. They are just so beautiful. So the really good thing, let's see, this is a hole. I'm going to peel that hole out because that looks like a little bug got to it. But we're just working our way around in a little floret. And I will just cover this with a couple of paper towels and put it right back into the refrigerator to keep cold until dinner. And I'm going to take this little floret stem and just stick it right there in the middle. Isn't that fantastic? And then that will go right onto the dinner table. And I think I need to cut this stem. It's a little bit too big. There we go. And into the middle it goes. We can expand it out like that. I suppose I could put like a little cherry tomato in the middle there. And isn't that beautiful? So we'll cover it with a couple of paper towels. And that's going to be it. Hi, Zamira. Nice to have you join us. Yes, I love it too. So that's it for tonight's dinner. We're making lettuce wraps in a beautiful floret, which I think is quite gorgeous. I love that. I'm going to throw a cherry tomato right in the center of this because that makes it look so cute. And we are finishing up this beautiful vegetable and turkey, which is so fantastic. And again, we use onions, garlic, carrots, celery, mushrooms. And so this is almost done, but because we are actually having dinner in about an hour and a half, I am going to turn this off and finish cooking it when we get closer to dinner time, so that my husband, God love him, who encourages me to do this every day, so I don't ever want to give him an overcooked dinner. So I always like to turn this off. Hey, Susan Foreman, thanks for being here. And that's it, and we'll make this. So what I'm also making along with this, because I love a lot of vegetables, is I am taking this rice cauliflower, which sometimes I actually put in with this, which I love to do. But I've got some chard out there that just has come up as soon as it got warm. And chard will literally melt down like 2 huge baskets full, and I sauteed it, and I had 2 quarters of chard. I mean, my husband at first was like, oh my God, that is so much chard. How are we gonna ever eat all that? And then when I served it, literally, there was this much, like 2 silver dollars size of chard, because it's like spinach, it cooks down to practically nothing. But I found that if you take the chard and you slice it up and you saute it into the rice cauliflower, it doesn't disappear like that. So tonight I will be sauteing the rice cauliflower. The trick is to saute this first, get it nice and soft, and then finish it off with the chiffonaded or sliced chard, and put it in, and then it's beautiful. Hey, Denise Olson, good to see you. So happy to have you here. So that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing on your page. You know, if there's just one person that you think cooking or we can help inspire in the kitchen, then by all means just tag them here in this video. Even when I sign off, just tag them. If you have a daughter or a niece or a nephew or even a son who is struggling in the kitchen, then by all means, hey, Carolyn Christensen, thank you so much for joining us. By all means, go out and tag them, and let's inspire them to start cooking every day and not finding it easy, because really cooking is work. But I mean, let's not lie about it. It was never meant to be easy, but you can have an ease at it. You can feel better about it. You can feel happy about it. You can step into the kitchen and above all else, trust your instincts. And if you know somebody who would be helped by tuning in with all of us every day, then definitely tag them or share right onto their page, and let's get them here. Tell me that you've brought them, tell me that you've invited them, and we'll make sure that we make them feel welcome. So right now, I don't have any spread love like butter on my apron, but all of you know how to say it, and we'll do it together. On my way to Williams-Sonoma right now to get a new one. On 1, 2, 3, go out and spread love like butter. Thanks, everybody. Bye.